We invited several groups to take part in our experiment. One at a time, the members of the first group were asked to try their hand at an old-fashioned wire buzzer game. The goal is to move a metal hoop all the way around the wire. If the loop touches the metal, you trigger an annoying buzz. Sitting alone in the room, they have to report how many buzzes they make. The trick is that we'll also be secretly watching them the whole time, counting the right number.
All right, so Robert and Rhonda, I see here that you reported that you made 18 mistakes, right? And you reported 21 mistakes. Now, what you actually don't know is that while you were running that task, we were recording you. There are hidden cameras all over this room. So we know that those weren't your actual numbers. Robert, how many mistakes did you actually make?
Oh, somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah? Kind of lost count?
Oh, yeah.
And what about you, Rhonda?
38.
So the funny thing is that the way that you guys reported is actually really common. So the data show that in a similar setup, when people don't think anybody's watching, they tend to underreport the mistakes that they made. It's pretty standard.
Our players were expected to use the honor system to keep track of their totals. But as you see, the real score is fibbing 1, honor 0. Now we asked another subject to play, only this time we did a little fibbing of our own.
This is really weird, but the librarians told me that you're not allowed to sit in this chair because there's some sort of weird story about a librarian, an elderly librarian, I think, died in this chair. Yeah, and they kept it here, and so there's some sort of I don't know, ghost stories that, her spirit still stays here and haunts the library. So definitely I would just recommend sort of staying in that chair, okay? All right.
Kara's suggestion is called priming and has been shown to influence people's minds and behavior. Will this woman's brain believe in the spirit of the elderly librarian that lives on in that chair? We set up hidden cameras to keep track of whether people would lie when asked to play a wire buzzer game. With no one watching, people tended to underreport their mistakes. But watch what happens when we prime the next player that there was the ghost of a dead librarian lingering in a nearby chair.
Okay, so Kim, I see here that you reported that you made 27 mistakes, and you, in fact, only made 27 mistakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Oftentimes, when people do this task and they don't think that anybody's watching, they sometimes underreport. But because there was a little white lie on my part about a spirit of a woman hanging out in the room, we sometimes start to feel like there really is a presence watching over us, and we're less likely to cheat or lie. Isn't that crazy?
A little crazy, yeah.
Obviously, we don't necessarily need a belief in the divine to act morally, but as humanity developed, one pretty effective way to keep ourselves practicing honest behavior when nobody else was looking may have been to believe in an all-seeing supernatural presence to moderate our actions and keep us from straying off the path. Even if you don't believe in the supernatural, the mere suggestion of a supernatural presence or anything watching can set you on a kind of moral alert.
As technology increases our ability to watch and be watched, who knows how this will affect our moral behavior?
How to detect a lie. Are you getting the whole truth and nothing but? The answer may be lying right in front of you. You will need a good ear, good eyes, and a healthy skepticism. Step 1. Watch the suspected liar's hands. Body language studies show that people tend to touch their face and scratch their nose when they lie. Step 2. Follow their eyes. Liars tend to blink a lot and don't maintain eye contact. Step 3. Note their words. A liar will often skip contractions, saying "I did not" instead of "I didn't," and avoid pronouns, using someone's full name instead of he or she. Step 4. Check their smile. People who are telling the truth use many facial muscles, but liars smile with just their mouth. Step 5. Notice their posture. Liars tend to keep their body posture closed by folding their arms, for example. They may also unconsciously put an object between you, like a cup of coffee. Step 6. Pause momentarily before responding. If the silence makes them uncomfortable, they may be lying. Step 7. Pay attention to details. If they provide more information than necessary, that's a bad sign. People tend to be overly specific when they're making something up. Step 8. Change the subject. If they seem relieved, that's probably a red flag that they've been lying straight to your face. Step 9. What you do from here is up to you. It may be smart to file your knowledge away for future use. However, if you're noticing a trend, it might just be time to teach your liar a lesson.